Hey guys, so this week it's going to be a little bit different. We're not doing a grocery haul just because I honestly didn't really need any groceries. I might go later because I think I need some like milk and eggs, and that's basically it. I have so much meat still from last week's haul and then the week before too, and I have so many carbs and stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna take you along and you're just gonna do some meal prepping with me this week. So for y'all that say that meal prepping is way too hard and it takes too much time and stuff, it really isn't. So right now it's 4:16 and I'm just getting started. I have my pack of chicken that's been defrosting for a couple days. I'm just gonna basically pop it in the air fryer and let it do its thing while I make some steak, and then prep the Ninja Creamis, and I should probably be done within an hour and a half, if even that. Yeah, and so basically I would say probably the number one thing that I found making like meal prep really easy is just buying like the pre-made spice blends. Like these usually are like on sale at my Ralph's. It's just the Private Selection or the Kroger brand. So this one I haven't opened up yet. It's like just the pre-made rub. So this one was a barbecue rub for literally $2.10. Like $2.10. Like these just make your life so much easier because it's already pre-made. So you just season it and then throw it into your air fryer in the oven or whatever. So today I'm going to be using the Nashville's hot chicken. I did this last week and it was really, really good. Reheated really nicely and it still had like a nice kick to it. So we're just going to do that again. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my chicken, put the seasoning on here, and then I'm going to air fry it in the air fryer at 400 degrees for 30 minutes and then, or for 20 minutes, see how that is, flip it if it's ready to be flipped in that 20 minutes, and then probably put it in for another 15 to 20 minutes, just depending on how big, because we do have some drumsticks and then we have some chicken thighs in here too. And yeah, so let's just get started. I'm gonna go wash my hands. People have been asking me about like my grocery shopping and how I like am able to stay basically within like a good budget but still like buy like higher quality things, because if you've watched any of my grocery hauls before, you kind of, I'm sure you can pick up by now, I'm a little bit picky as far as like what I'm eating and the quality of ingredients. Honestly, my biggest thing that I tell people is like when you go into the store, get like your meat first, dairy and eggs, because those are always going to be like the highest like costing as far as like whatever you're getting. So if you like get that out of the way, I like will go over to the protein, see like how much meat I need for the week, and then after that I can kind of just like budget the rest of it out. It also just like helps me like avoid like grabbing a bunch of different snacks and stuff like that, because otherwise I will be in the what's it called, in like the grocery store for like 3 to 4 hours just looking at all the aisles and the different stuff that's there. So yeah, so little life hack, go and get your meats first so you can see like basically what is in your budget. Then after that I'd move on to your eggs, and then after eggs look at like whatever, like milk. So just basically like dairy after that, because that is also usually a little bit more pricey. Another thing is a lot of people think that when you buy like frozen fruits and vegetables, it means that it's like lesser quality, or it's like not like the nutrition like aspect of it is less than what you would get if you were to get like fresh fruit and vegetables, which that is actually false. That is not true. Basically what happens when fruit and vegetables are picked up like on the farms and stuff, it's picked at like its peak like ripeness time, and then after that it's like flash frozen, so you're still like, you're getting essentially almost like higher quality sometimes, and then obviously it lasts longer. And honestly I feel like the prices are about the same, sometimes even cheaper when you go frozen. So that's just another little tidbit that you can have like when you are grocery shopping, just because I know people are on budgets, things are getting more pricey and all that jazz. So just helping you out wherever you can, especially with like nutrition and eating. You don't necessarily have to what's it called? You don't have to like really take away or like sacrifice as far as like the quality of the food that you're getting just because you're on a budget. And then yeah, so basically I am like almost done here with this chicken. Literally just slathering a shit ton of seasoning on there. Personally, I don't put any oil on the meat that goes into the air fryer. I just don't really like feel like I need it, or like the extra calories either as far as like consuming the oil and stuff. So I don't put any oil on. You guys can when you're meal prepping and stuff, but honestly the air fryer also just does a really good job anyways of like making things crispy and all that jazz. So I just feel like there's usually not really ever a need to really put any oil on like my chicken and stuff like that. Also, I feel like it helps keep things like moist, I guess, but it's still like it's going in the air fryer, so either way it's gonna be crunchy and it's gonna be good. So. Alright, here we go. Chicken legs are going into the air fryer. So 400 degrees, and we're gonna put it on for 20 minutes, and then do the same thing for the chicken thighs, which the chicken thighs might actually have to go on longer now that I think about it. And then I'm just gonna clean up this grossness and we'll start on the steak. So I have two of these chuck steak things, and literally for my steak all I do is I just salt and pepper it, and then I put it on the stove and just basically sear it. I usually do it like medium rare, sometimes a little bit more rare if I know that I'm gonna be using it for meal prep. So yeah, let's just get started. I don't really have anything else to say. So we just got these two, and then some salt and pepper. And usually if I have time, I will let my steaks like rest until they get to about room temperature, just because it helps with the sear. But today, I don't have time for that, so we're just gonna throw it on the pan and just hope for the best. But it still tastes good, so. Alright, got that going on at medium-high heat, just while that heats up. Then I'm gonna just heavily salt these and put some pepper on there as well. And then just doing the same thing on the other side, just salt and this time lightly pepper it. Okay, I guess I'm gonna do one steak at a time. But yeah, so that's just gonna go. I'm gonna let it sear and then flip it over and then just kind of repeat the process. Okay, so now that we have our steak going, chicken is going, you know, I am always like doing 25 million things at once in the kitchen. I don't even know why I have these, because these are not what we're gonna be needing to use right now. So basically what we're gonna do while everything else is cooking and to maximize our meal prep time is make our Ninja Creamis. So I'm gonna be doing two different flavors. One I've already tried before, which I really liked. That is the chocolate peanut butter flavor. So I'm gonna be doing two of those because I have 4 quarts here. And then in the other two, I have this new protein powder. The Quit brand, use code Muscle Mommy Mats for 10% off. But basically what it is, let me show you guys. Super excited to try this out as a Ninja Creami. But it's cinnamon roll flavor. Oh my gosh, it is so good. This is, so basically this is the beef isolate protein powder. So instead of like whey powder, it is just like the actual like beef like meat. And then there's also some other like good things in there. Like I think, is this the blend that has? Yeah, so this is the non-stevia version, and so it's like their what they call like low sugar version. So instead of like cane sugar that is very like inflammatory for the body, they use coconut sugar instead. And honestly, this has been like the most like favorite clean like protein powder that I've tried that doesn't have any whey or dairy in it. I've tried so many different types of protein powders that are like supposedly natural and clean or whatever. Most of the time they taste really gross, or they have like that gritty like weirdness, like so it doesn't like actually mix in. That, or it's like 80 bucks for like a little 1 to 2 pound bag. And it's just like absolutely ridiculous. But so far I've really loved this brand, and I'm really excited to try out some of the other flavors and stuff too. I picked this one out just because I'm like, you know what, let's try like a cinnamon flavored one, because usually I just pick like vanilla or chocolate, but I wanted to try something different this time. And yeah, so far really happy with this brand. Definitely gonna try out some of their other products and stuff. And like I said, use code MuscleMommyMads for, I think it's 10% off. And then we'll just get started. Basically what I do is I just mix everything ahead of time in a shaker bottle because it's just the easiest, and it's also the easiest for like cleanup purposes as well. So essentially I just put 14 ounces of milk into the thing, because each one of these Ninja Creamis can hold up about 14 ounces. It does have like a little like max fill line. I don't know if that like actually, you can see there's like a little black line right here, and that's the max fill line essentially. So I just do 18, what am I saying? I do 14 ounces of the milk, and then I do 2 scoops of protein powder when I do this, just for a little bit of extra like protein. And honestly, like the calories aren't really all that bad, especially since I am using a lower like calorie milk. This is the Fairlife like dupe that Costco has, and then the macros for the protein powder too, it's pretty good, so I don't worry about like using 2. And then honestly, I think that this one's gonna probably do better than the past like protein powders, okay, that I've done in the past, because I usually use the Levels like protein powder, which is okay, but it honestly, this powder from Equip like just perfectly blends into whatever you like are having it like blended into or mixed in with. And I haven't, because I've tried it with some rice, because I'm gonna do some rice pudding again. That was really good. It honestly didn't like turn gritty or anything like that. I mixed it with just like water, and I've actually even tried this with some chai tea just to see how it would taste, and it was actually really good. So I was really like surprised in how that turned out. But yeah, basically it's just 14 ounces of milk, and then 2 scoops of the protein powder, and then 1 tablespoon of sugar-free like pudding mix. Is just the cheesecake sugar-free Jello. So we'll do also a tablespoon of that into this mix, which I forgot to do. I do a tablespoon of the sugar-free Jello like pudding, sugar-free pudding mix. Yeah, and this is the cheesecake flavor. It just kind of helps like the consistency at the end. So it like actually like freezes without like all those ice crystals and stuff. Otherwise, if you don't add it, it kind of turns weird. Don't do what I did. Put the protein powder in first and then the milk, because yeah, that sometimes it will stick just to the top. Because the one thing I did notice about this is like as soon as this protein powder hits like any liquid like at all, it basically just wants to dissolve like right away. So yeah, if you want to avoid like kind of clumpage at the top of the shaker. I also might have filled this up with a little too much. but you live and you learn. So I know for the next one that I'm making at least. Yeah, there's a lot of foam involved with this one. So then, like I said, we're gonna I'm trying to think if I should scoop some of that off, but we're not going to. And then I'm just gonna put in that. This might not have been a good idea, but I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of that, and then shake it up. I'm just gonna hope for the best. And if that wasn't a good idea, we'll learn together. Past the max fill line, but honestly, most of that is just the foam, so I'm just gonna keep it and call it good because I know that it's gonna like subside and go down. So we're just gonna start on our second one. Alright, and then our steak is almost done. I'm gonna check on the chicken. Oh, that looks really good. Yeah, both of those look good. Not really quite ready to be flipped over, and actually I don't think I'm going to flip them over. So we're just gonna put the chicken drumsticks on for another 20 minutes. And then I'm gonna do another 25 minutes for the chicken thighs, just because I think those need a little bit of extra leaven. And then, yeah, so we are going to do one more flavor of the cinnamon roll stuff. I'm going to just rinse this off because, yeah. Okay, so we're going to do another flavor of the cinnamon roll stuff. And this time we're going to do the powder in there first. So we're going to do a tablespoon of that sugar-free pudding mix. And then 2 scoops of my protein powder is going into the powder. And then this time I'm just going to start off with 8 ounces of milk and then see like how it goes from there. Just because I feel like this one went, or the last one was pretty full, and it went past the max fill line, although it is starting to come down already because a lot of it was air bubbles. But I'm just going to pre-mix this a little bit with the chopstick and then shake it up the rest of the way with this in front of the sink because there's stuff all over this now. Okay, so now we're just going to shake all that up, get that mixed in there. Alright, that looks... Yeah, like I said, this incorporates pretty quickly, which is nice. Especially like even when you're just drinking it on your own or on its own as like a protein shake and not mixing it in with other stuff. So yeah, that looks pretty good. We're gonna just throw that in here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna top off the rest of this just to the max. You can't even see this. I'm gonna top off the rest of this just so you still can't see it. But I'm gonna top off the rest of this until it hits the max fill line, basically. Just with the milk. And then perfect. Just gonna give it another little mixy. Honestly, I'm so excited to try this. I cannot wait. Because just the protein powder by itself tastes super good in the protein shakes. I know as a Creami it's gonna be really, really good. And I have some add-ins that I'm gonna try out next time too. So we're gonna just put these 2 in the fridge. The freezer to freeze overnight. Then I was going to do some chocolate ones, but there's actually literally no more room in my freezer. So we're going to put that on hold and then try those ones out when there's more room in the freezer. So this week we only have, or for the next 2 days, we're just going to have 2 different Creamis. But that's okay. So we're going to try out the cinnamon roll one, and I know it's going to be really good, and I'm really excited for this. So yeah, and then I'm just gonna clean everything up, and then we're gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, and then the last thing that we're gonna do today, because the steak is completely done, we got the chicken, it's going in, it's got about 15 to 20-ish more minutes, depending on like what type of cut it is. And so now our last thing after the Creamis is we are gonna do some, just like some pasta with turkey, ground turkey, and like marinara sauce. So I have these that really need to be used. They might be a little bit slightly freezer burnt, but that's okay. Usually what I do at the end of the month is I just like figure out what I still have in my fridge and stuff, and then just kind of figure out meals like around that. Yeah, so we need to like finish these off because I don't even remember when I opened these, to be honest. Okay, cool. There's 3 of these, so there's 1 pound of meat right here. So we'll just do that, and then a little bit of some like macaroni or like whatever pasta I have in there. Coolio, yeah, and then we just have some pasta. I have like almost half the box left of that, so I'll just make that. Do some butter noodles too from just like the leftovers. Ooh, you know what? I have some feta as well that needs to be cooked. Okay, coolio. So yeah, that's what's happening. This says that these are like already kind of pre-seasoned, but I'm just gonna add some garlic, and I don't know why I grabbed the garlic powder again. So I'm gonna add some garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then what is this? And some Italian seasoning just for a little bit of extra flavor. And then I'm gonna melt the feta in there with some of the tomato basil sauce, and then I'll just have the pasta going right now. Yep. So we'll just start on that. I'm gonna start on having the water like boil for the pasta though, because I know that's gonna take a hot minute. So the way that I like structure my like meal plans or like meal preps and stuff like that, sometimes I will like pre-portion out my actual like meals ahead of time. Otherwise, what I kind of do is almost like a family style. So for like, I'll make all my carbs for the week, which is usually like rice or potatoes or like rice and pasta, or even like right now I have tortillas. So what I do is I just make like all of my carbs at once, so those are all like readily available, and then obviously then I do my proteins next. And like as far as like my work week, what I usually do is I'll make like the first like work day, so I work like Monday through Friday, so I'll make all my meals for Monday, and then like everything else is just in bigger like containers, since I am sharing a fridge with with like my roommates and stuff like that, so I don't want to take over the whole entire fridge. And it just like, but like having that stockpile of just the ready-made carbs and the readily like available meat that's already cooked makes it so much easier. So for like when I do need to like eat or like create my meals that I'm packing for my lunches for work, it's just really easy because everything's already ready to go, and all I have to do is just measure it out into my little meal prep containers. But yeah, so I guess we'll just get started on the next thing. Like I said, I have my water boiling right now for the pasta. I'm going to put these turkey patties on the stove while my chicken is going. And then we are basically like almost done. And it's only 5:02. It hasn't even been an hour. So when you guys are in here saying like, oh, I don't want to be meal prepping for like 5-6 hours at a time, you don't need that much time. You honestly don't. And honestly, my rice and other carbs are already like meal prepped because I needed some earlier this weekend. But on like a regular day, if I were to do everything together, it was usually I'm only in the kitchen for about 2 hours at a time, and that also includes cleanup time because, as you have seen, I clean up like as I go. And then usually we'll do like one last load of dishes like right afterwards. But yeah, like I said, if you like know how to structure your like meal times, and then also just kind of like how you are actually like in the kitchen when you're meal prepping, it doesn't take 5-6 hours at a time. Like you can do multiple things at once in the kitchen and then just knock everything out. And yeah, like I said, having not enough time is not an excuse for not meal prepping, because you can do it in less than 2 hours. Because I do it in less than 2 hours. And that's usually enough like food for like 3 or 4 days. And then I have to like re-meal prep more meals for the rest of the week. But honestly, before when I was living by myself, I used to meal prep enough food for myself for 7 days ahead of time. But that also like kind of stopped working because then I would get bored of the meals, or yeah, I would just get bored of the meals, to be honest, and then I just like wouldn't really want to eat anymore. And I feel like prepping for like 3 to 4 days at a time, it's easier to kind of like budget as well, trying to figure out like how much food I have and like what I have left to eat and all that. So yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping and I'm gonna like actually get on this because yeah, my turkey burgers need to get done. So these are just the frozen turkey burgers from Costco. I don't know if they still have them there or not, but I just have 3 of these left and they're just already pre-packaged and they're just going in the pan. And now we are back over here just finishing off the turkey stuff. So let me see how these are going. These are looking good, so I think yeah, they're basically already fully cooked now. Honestly, they smell like they got enough seasoning in there. So I don't think that I'm going to actually add this extra seasoning in anymore. Just going to crush up the meat. And then we're going to turn this on low because I don't want this to overcook. Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to just put this entire jar of marinara sauce in here. Alright, the pasta is basically done. I'm just going to add in a little bit of this water. And then I'm going to actually drain this pasta because it is perfectly done now. This is doing its thing on low, and then I'm going to just throw in that block of feta like right into the middle and then let it go on simmer just so it can do its thing. And then kind of deglaze the bottom of the pan too a little bit. So all that nice yummy flavor from the turkey burgers cooking is going to go right into the sauce. And then yeah, like I said, just this whole packet of feta is just going to go in the middle here, and it's just going to do its thing. Just going to break it up a little bit, but just kind of keep it in here so we can mix it up and then let it do its thing in the sauce. Yeah, these turkey burgers are really lean, so adding in the feta cheese will add in a little bit of the fat back into the meal, and then also I just need to use up the feta before it goes bad. But it'll add in a little bit of a nicer, like creamier flavor as far as the sauce too, so it will be good. So basically that's kind of just it. This is just gonna simmer for a little bit while everything kind of just congeals and takes on the flavor, but other than that, everything is already prepped and cooked. It is 5:22 right now. We started at 4:16, so it's just been roughly over an hour and we're done. All we need to do is just clean up a little bit, which might take like 15-20 minutes as far as just the dishes. But yeah, like I said, you do not need 7 to 8 hours, because I know some of y'all be in the kitchen all day doing your meal preps and stuff like that, and that's so unnecessary. Like I said, this is gonna last me probably, I think this one's gonna last me probably like 3 to 4 days. So I'm probably gonna have to do some more stuff before the end of my work week, because I think this is gonna last me probably till Wednesday. But I am gonna go to the store and just grab a couple more things. I have a couple more like stuff in the freezer too, and I have some eggs and stuff like that that I will be eating as well. And I have those Ninja Creamis too for a late night little protein treat. So I'm excited about those. I'm probably gonna bring one to work with me tomorrow night and try that, and I'll let you guys know how it is. But yeah, so basically everything is all done. Oh, those are, oh my goodness. Those are super crispy. And actually, whoa, pretty juicy. You probably just saw all that juice that just came out. So, and these ones do have the skin on them.